Hello, hi, and I'm back before you as Esmeralda the Gypsy. I first thought I would be all stylish with a hat, the British style hat, but made by April Cornell, a Canadian, completely Canadian lady designer, but thought better of it. All right, but came up with a game. So another time, a hat and the works. All right, so this is the I even watched a clip of the Walt Disney Pictures children's movie Esmeralda. I forget what it is. Esmeralda is in it. So okay, so Margaret Atwood. Or before I continue further, this is saffron pudding. Saffron pudding, and it came out right, but it's all it's becoming alright. So the trick is to secret. You should get it from the internet. The secret for vanilla pudding, chocolate pudding, or saffron pudding is to add, guess what? Cornstarch. Canada cornstarch is the best, according to us. But then you may have America cornstarch, cornstarch, or British cornstarch, and who knows, even Indian cornstarch. So, and this is a Kannada dish, uppit, cream of wheat. All right, so if you want to eat broccoli, disgusting broccoli, right? Then you have to add spices to it. But plain old broccoli, then some chopped chilies, sauteed in oil, broccoli, and with a generous sprinkling of oil, sauteed along with it. All these florets, broccoli trees, they remind you of trees. This is what Sriram's one of his cousins used to say, the American cousins. That he has two American cousins. So the older one used to say, they're like trees. And truly, they can be disgusting. But you cook them and then sprinkle some sea salt on it. Oh, it's really good. All right. So to eat broccoli, well, if you are a bit, you've overdone your turkey Christmas dinner, then broccoli for tea. All right. So, or dinner, broccoli for dinner, more like broccoli for dinner. So that's like you can garnish on this uppit or cream of wheat, some shredded carrots, grated carrots, or some chopped cilantro looks good. But a lot of cilantro goes a long way in a few leaves of cilantro go a long way in getting you to and fro to the shopping stores. All right, shopaholic comes up, but little less of cilantro goes a little bit of a way in in making you a pro. Oh my God, that's what we like. All right, so the things like that. All right. So next, before I go on, actually, I will read the Margaret Atwood excerpts I have lined up for you folks. Okay. The book is her latest book, and she came in the Globe and Mail with a dress and same color. I'm suede, I'm sure. All right, and because it had a pile of books like this, foldings, made to resemble books. So, and it's biography, and she talks about her parents, where she comes from. Parents were from Nova Scotia, and you know, um, um, it's a fascinating read. I just went through. Um, I like these, biopics, biographies, and things like that. Gets to know what's going on in the brains of these experts, right? I mean, so that way. All right. In the woods, the food we ate was limited, partly due to wartime rationing, partly because there was no grocery store within easy reach. We had two gardens, each enclosed with a chicken wire fence. Skunks, deer, woodchucks. Oh my God, woodchucks are nice. Deer, if they get too close, it could be a little, scary. So for fertilizer, etc. So I'm going to go to, we had fresh vegetables from the gardens during the late spring and summer. These included leaf lettuce. On special occasions, we Kids could have lettuce cigarettes rolled up with sugar inside, radishes, green onions, baby carrots, beets, and beet greens, Swiss chard, and spinach, and peas and beans. There were all there were also scarlet runner beans. Wonder what they are. And orange and red nasturtiums for hummingbirds. So they would, I guess, give let these hummingbirds feast away, but hummingbirds eat only so little, right? So a lot is left over. We had wild blueberries when we could find them, and sometimes wild strawberries from the meadows around the lumber camps. So that's Margaret. Margaret did a lot of baking. She's named after her mother, right? Did a lot of baking in the wood stove oven, bread pies, puddings, and cookies. Butter was rationed and anyway went rancid quickly as Crisco, cheap, available, and practically indestructible, was a preferred shortening agent. So meats such as cured bacon and lard, and hard sausages. I thought large sausages. Oh my, that's a lot of fat, lard and sausage. I'm not a meat eater, as I say, but I'm fond of saying. Had preservatives in them, so they were a good choice. We had pancakes when there were eggs. The less said about wartime dried eggs, the better. There's a lot of oatmeal porridge, cream of wheat. There you go. And Red River cereal, on which we were allowed to, Red River cereal, which we were allowed to put a measured amount of brown sugar as well as carnation milk from a tin. So canned food included peas, habitant pea soup, spam, tasty when fried on a wood stove, and corned beef from Argentina that came in an odd pyramid-shaped can. Pyramid. Cheese could be kept for some time. Macaroni and cheese were a favorite. Milk was either carnation or rehydrated whole milk made from KLIM, a powder whose name was milk smelled was spelled backwards. That this was mixed with water. Are we going to check on this? Are we sure we have, wartime? There's a little bit of the milk spelled backwards. Could be Margaret Atwood here being creative. It's really, I've never come across this. It's clever creativity. She is very good, but so a hand egg beater. So this was all mixed with water using a hand egg beater, a whisk, I guess, and always had lumps in it. Oh no, this is not good. No lumps, please. No lumps. We do egg beaters the way. So I have a picture of me age 2 plus watching while Edie feeds an orphan baby rabbit with an eyedropper. This may have been how my obsession with bunnies and rabbits began. Particularly fascinated by the Easter bunny. He was male, that much was clear, but he had a basket full of colored eggs. That he couldn't have laid himself. Hence laid eggs. Rabbits didn't. But if they did, they would have the female rabbits. Was there a Mrs. Easter bunny? Was there a concealed hen that nobody had seen fit to mention? It was a puzzle. Why are there so many eggs in your writing? I was asked at a literary event, came out with something about the perfect form, the primal symbolism, but perhaps it goes back to Edie and the big baby rabbit and the egg-carrying Easter bunny. So bunny cookies. So she goes on to talk about bunny cookies, etc. Or let me read this little bit, and then you enjoy the book on your own. All right, it's called. I should best of. It's called book. It's called book. Margaret Atwood. A Book of Lives. Margaret Atwood. So there, Margaret Atwood, Book of Lives. All right, going back, I'll just read a little bit of the bunny cookies thing. Or possibly the uninfluence was the, what's this? Influence. Okay, I guess she as a child, she would say again, the second cousin. All right, I cannot mention one of Shriram's American cousins and get away with it to include the second one. So he would say Yeah, I met him when he was 9. So a little soft corner for both of them. Or possibly the influence was the bunny cookies. The story was a staple of my mother's. She had to go to a tea party in Ottawa, not her favorite thing. as she had to put on a dress and a hat and make polite conversation with strangers. But the wives of junior government employees were expected to go to tea parties thrown by the wives of senior government employees. Oh my God. Babysitters were an extravagance, which is how I got taken to the film of Henry V with Laurence Olivier when I was 4 or 5. I'm told I sat very still, no doubt as baffled as well as petrified, as I had never seen a film before. But I remember, oh, even now, 4 or 5. See, Pranav remembers quite a few things, my son. But I remember the archery scene very well. The senior tea party wife, knowing there would be children, had supplied a plate full of cookies shaped like rabbits and decorated with icing sugar. I was given one bunny cookie. Wasn't I going to eat it? I was asked. No, I said. I just wanted to talk to it. This kid, my belief that I could communicate with inanimate objects. This goes on more to more, or I'll let you enjoy it on your own. And inspired by Margaret Atwood, I have um, this little poem of mine, and then I have a little gig planned as Esmeralda. I'm going to read my fortune. What does the fortune have for me? What does the future have for me? What fortune is stored for me? So Margaret Atwood has said, snowy parchment. So on quote, snowy parchment, unquote. I think on books, Canadian in nature and content. This is a poem by me, Gayatri B. Sitaram. On snowy parchment, I think on books, Canadian in nature and content. Atwood, Badami, Carney, Margaret Atwood, Anita Rao Badami, Mark Carney, all published by Penguin Random House Canada. Atwood, Badami, Carney, different as dice and donuts and dramas, but all Canadian in their writing. Draw a winning number to their fame and fortune and fineness. If Atwood weaves a magical spell with her writing, Badami spins a fine yarn with her writing. Carney, for whom I should write an ode, for he's the Prime Minister all busy with the country's work, makes a powerful argument for economy in economics and ergonomics, both with his writing and his prime ministership. Carney, Badami, and Atwood, quote and unquote, may their tribe continue. So that was my poem, and now I'm going to read my fortune. I'm going to change the location of this camera. Oh, I slurped. Drinking water. I'm going to change the location of this camera. Okay. All right, this is in. Okay. So a little bit of. And I'm going to do 2 horses, or that's also that also comes in the fortune. All right, reading of the fortune. One is water lilies are around. I'm totally still in love with my husband. I had a few, few tempting moments there, but I continue to be, boringly faithful. Well, a little bit here and there. I am fond of saying, other gentlemen make you appreciate your husband more. All right, so there we go. These are violets. Violets, are recommended by all cooking books, by all books for their scent. I mean, it's all femininity and etc. Because roses are red, violets are blue, and I remember my past loss, my dear husband, and then I beg to ask their forgiveness for not being still staying faithful to them with my heart still attached to them. But I remember them with a lot of fondness, and memories bring back love, etc. So husband doesn't elicit this reaction, but nevertheless, he's a fine man. Yeah, he went to a movie yesterday, and let me read some of my book in peace, because otherwise we are doing these things all together, and sometimes it's a little much, because other people think that they should be doing these things themselves, but maybe they're busy. Who knows? Yeah. So violets, a little bit of violets, few violets, and that they go well with tea, says the internet. And that may be a lot, or one must be. I'm going to add five, all the five little petals to this, five little flowers to parts to it, and we'll get tea, tea. Oh, great! This is the store. Say tea, and you have everything about on tea there, and strainer should be. All right, I drink my tea sugarless. So we're going to do first. Okay, this is all right. Oh, I have to read my fortune. All right. I almost forgot. I'm going to buy tarot cards and conduct a seance. Whoopi Goldberg in the. All right, what's happening? All right. What does the future have for me? Tease. Do I see Maharaja who's going to pay court to me? And here I was just swearing a lifetime of love for my husband, a Maharaja, the King Charles III. Pay court to me? Do I have, as in Canada, you say, the Pradhan Mantri, the Prime Minister, doing justice to me, and along with the $2 paying someone, giving me an appointment? These things I spoil because I'm an engineer. There are possibilities that a Prime Minister could actually seek my advice. So I spoil all these things. You're a regular artist or you're a regular fortune teller? No, there's no chance of that, right? I mean, so Saint of Violet. Oh my God. So what does the fortune say? What is what do the tea leaves say? They're reading my fortune. They're all spread around. Fortune. It's not collected. Once I brewed, it was all collected in the center. I was reading Canada's fortune there. All right, so it was all collected in the center, and a little bit of there. So all the there's the central power is the power. That's what I read here, all spread around. See, that was during Stephen Harper's time. So he was he. Sorry, Liberal Party, but I have for the record, I have voted for the Conservative Party too. This was a D. So it's all spread around. So what does this mean? There's one flower that's floating on at the top. One violet flower, and this is all. It's all in the hands of all the powers that have my work. All the powers that have my work. Do I read right? Make a sign. Tea leaves. Do I read right? Do I see more sex in my life? Okay, I chose the horses. All right, that's because the fortune, the two horses. But just in case Monet is watching and gets upset, we'll do a little bit of Monet. Monet. All right. So here we go. Right hand first. Oh, it's good. Tea's violet is very good. An unusual flavor. It's good. Very good. So what do we say as a sign out? Roses are red, violets are blue. You should remember me. You should remember that roses and violets share a certain tale together, because violets are blue, and which is that once you see roses, you forget that there are other things in life. But once you taste violets, you remember. In tea, you remember that there were these roses in your life. Roses always fell love, and these roses were in my life. Signing off. Thank you, Gayatri BC.